This is like a perfect video of why Derek and I say not to do the field sobriety test.
Not only can I smell alcohol coming from your breath, but I can also smell marijuana coming from this car.
Do you know who I am?
No, I don't.
I'm on your TV.
On my TV?
Yeah, like I peed on myself trying to get to a restroom. I got pee on my hand.
What?
She said that she's had a few drinks tonight. And then,
She did not say that.
and then walk to the front of my
Oh,
car.
wow.
I told you.
Then I want you to raise your right foot, okay?
It doesn't have to be your right foot. It's the foot of the driver's choosing.
Like this.
Yeah, see, that other officer just corrected the officer who's giving the instructions.
I feel like y'all not doing y'all job right.
All right. So do me a favor, man.
All right, hey guys, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kelly Moore. I am a DUI attorney here in the state of Illinois. Today we are going to be watching a body-worn camera provided to us from Law and Crime, and this is going to be about an investigation into a DUI of GloRilla. Don't know if you guys have heard of her, but I'm going to give you the ins and outs from my professional experience, and I'm going to try and provide you some insights from both perspectives, the state and the defense. I hope you like it. Let me know in the comments.
Hey, I'm Officer GloRilla, Swanee Police. So the reason I pulled you over today is because you made a U-turn at a red light.
Okay. My GPS is taking me to walk past this light and it took me there.
And it took you over there?
Yeah.
Okay, so do me a favor so we can get out of this roadway. I'm going to need your driver's license. I'm going to go back to my car. I'll flash my lights at you. Whenever I do that, or whenever these cars pass us, I want you to turn into this turn lane over here, okay?
Okay.
And just stay right there for me.
So this is actually a super interesting issue because right now, like when the officer approached her, if she put in her police report or testified at the trial that she had any indication basically that this driver might be under the influence of alcohol, her credibility is at issue, the officer's credibility, because if you believed that she was under the influence of alcohol, if you're going to say right here from this interaction that you smelled alcohol, smelled or had slurred speech, like a thick tongue, bloodshot, glassy eyes, and then you allowed her to continue driving, even to move to a safer location, that really affects an officer's credibility. So that's always something that I look for in this type of situation where they have the client move.
So where are you coming from?
And then I had a husband.
Ma'am?
I don't know what it's called, opium, I think. Is it called opium? Yeah.
You had a, I'm sorry?
Yeah, I had a appearance.
An appearance? Okay. Was it here?
Sounded like she said I had a husband.
Appearance.
An appearance, okay.
You're headed home?
Yeah, I wanted to go to Waffle House before I headed home. My house like 15 minutes away. I was just trying to come to Waffle House right here.
Okay. Were you drinking tonight?
I'm not drunk.
Okay.
She said I'm not
I can
drunk.
stop you from your breath.
It's not an answer. The answer is, have you been drinking?
Okay.
Or the question.
Right when you roll down the window. Okay.
Yeah.
So, in a few minutes, I'm going to have another officer come over here, and we're going, if you're willing, I'm just going to ask you a few questions, okay?
Okay.
All right. How many drinks did you have today?
I'm cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I ain't drunk or nothing.
For a second, my dear.
Yeah, see, that's a problem. She's not answering the questions that are being asked of her. She asked, have you been drinking? Her answer was, I'm not drunk. And then now she said, how many drinks have you had today? And the answer was, I'm cool. So that could also be argued by the state that she's not answering the questions that are being asked of her, can't follow simple instructions. That could be used as an indicator of impairment as far as the state's attorney is concerned. So if this driver's tactic from like a defense perspective is that she may not feel the need to answer all of the officer's questions, or maybe in her mind she's trying to get around answering the officer's questions, there's a way smarter way to do that. And that is to say, respectfully, officer, I'm not going to be answering any of your questions. Instead of this tactic, because this tactic looks like you're just being obstinate, or maybe you're not like clocking what the actual questions are. So I would recommend not answering the officer's questions, but specifically saying, respectfully, officer, I'm not going to be answering your questions.
How many drinks did you have, ma'am?
I'm okay.
That's not my question.
I'm okay, I'm telling you.
10-4.
I
Ma'am?
didn't hear that.
I'm okay.
Okay. That doesn't mean anything.
It don't mean nothing. I live in my GPS system was telling me to go to that Waffle House down there, but I know this way because I live over here. So I was going to that Waffle House up there.
Okay. But I'm asking you how many drinks you had.
I'm not drunk. I'm okay.
Okay. Well, what did you drink?
I'm okay. I'm alright.
Okay. Are you?
Yeah, see, this whole thing is just, I don't think it looks good for the driver. I think she'd be way better off if she just said, like, respectfully, officer, I'm not going to be answering your questions. Now, you know, their rapport's getting a little bit more, like, adverse, a little bit more hostile. You don't want that. And again, it just seems like she's incapable of answering a direct question. It would just be way, way better for her if she just said, officer, I'm not going to be answering your questions.
Yeah.
Where do you live exactly? Is it here in Swanee?
I live in Duluth.
In Duluth?
It's like 3 minutes away from here.
Okay. All right. So, in just a few moments, I'll have you step out. But not only can I smell alcohol coming from your breath, but I can also smell marijuana coming from this car.
Fair?
Okay. So, in just a moment, I'll be searching this car. Is there anything that I'm going to find in this car?
I have a gun registered to my name.
A gun?
A gun.
Okay. Where's the gun at?
Yeah, so the burnt marijuana there, that's really important, especially in the state of Illinois, because cannabis is legal in the state of Illinois. You are able to carry it in your vehicle. It's a certain amount of grams. I believe it's 10 that you could carry in your vehicle. It has to be inaccessible to you. It has to be in a child-proof and an odor-proof container. But the burnt marijuana can indicate that she or somebody else that was in her vehicle recently smoked that marijuana, or, you know, she wasn't super specific, but she could be saying that she smelt it from her mouth. If that's the case, just smelling burnt marijuana in Illinois from her mouth wouldn't be enough to search the car to try and find that marijuana. But it could be an indicator, you know, of impairment if she just most recently smoked. I also think it's really stupid of the officer to let her know she's going to search the car in a couple of minutes, unless this officer is going to stay right there, you know, right next to her with the light shining and the body-worn camera, because she could attempt to dispose of whatever evidence she doesn't want her to find. So it's kind of not the brightest idea, in my opinion, from the officer's standpoint.
In the car.
Yes, ma'am. Where at?
It's in
Just
my
for
back
my
seat.
safety? Okay.
Yeah, it's in my back seat.
Where, is it like in a bag or?
No, it's just in the back seat.
Okay. All right. Any marijuana?
Not nothing I can go to jail.
That's not what I'm asking, ma'am. I just want to know. I mean, I'm going to find it either way. I can
It's
smell
maybe
it.
like a 2 point something.
Okay. Okay. Where's it at?
I can give you the whole.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, yeah, it's nothing.
We'll wait. It's okay. We'll wait for now, okay?
You want to see it?
No, ma'am. I'll
Okay.
get it in just a moment, okay?
Yeah. It's nothing like this. I'm
So-
not drunk enough.
Okay. Well,
Do you know who I am?
No, I don't. No, ma'am.
Do you know who I am?
You said an opening. An opening where? For
No,
what?
it's called, the club is called Open Mix in the county now.
I think I've heard of opium. But I like
Never heard of me though.
I'm sorry.
You don't know who I am. Okay, well, you're not out.
I know last name Woods. It's from what I just saw, but
Oh yeah,
that's all.
it's alright, it's alright. But yeah, it's okay. I'll wait on you.
Enlighten me on who you are. You sing, you
No, cause you still gonna pick on me. It don't matter who I am.
pick on you. I'm not picking on you. You're
'Cause I'm
driving and I can smell alcohol off your breath.
But I'm not drunk. I can tell you that. I can promise you that I do. But yeah, I'm on your TV.
Ma'am,
I said I'm on your TV.
on my TV.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's okay though.
I watch TV shows. Are you on a TV show?
Now she thinks she's an actress. This is weird. Like, if you're gonna say that, just tell her who you are. I don't think you're that famous that everyone would know who you are, like Jennifer Aniston or something. Also, I mean, I'm looking at this from the perspective of, am I seeing indicators of impairment? I think her eyes look super clear. I don't see red bloodshot eyes. Her eyes seem like pretty open to me. They are conversating, which is good. Her speech, I still can't tell if her speech is slurred or she's thick-tongued or she's speaking quietly to try and avoid any indicators of impairment, but her speech is odd to me.
Are you going to tell me what TV show she's on? Because she's not telling me. Okay, artist. Am I just going to have to play games over here? You just not going to tell me?
What is it gonna help me out?
But
You're the one who brought it
now
up.
you got me curious.
It's not gonna help nothing, so it don't matter.
That was
You can't
weird.
just tell me that and then not.
I'm so hungry. Like, I peed on myself trying to get to a restroom. I got pee on my hand.
Oh.
What?
But yeah, it's not gonna help nothing out because you still finna pick on me, and it's not nothing I can go to jail for because I'm not. It's not enough weed for me to go to jail for nothing.
Is it just a weed? Is it?
Yeah.
Is it like in your purse or something?
It's like it's like a small little pack.
All right. So there's another officer here. Okay.
Okay.
Step up.
Just give me a moment. Then we'll have him.
Oh, and then I forgot my suitcase back there. I got another one in my gun, but both of these in my name. So.
Okay. There's another one in your suitcase.
Another
and then,
gun?
Okay. And then one somewhere back here in the back seat. Okay. All right.
What I gotta do? Walk in line or something?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. So I'm going to speak to you. She said that she's had a few drinks tonight, and then.
She did not
I
say
didn't say
that. The officer just said to her partner that the driver admitted to having a few drinks. She never said that. She kept saying repeatedly, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm not drunk. She never said what she drank, how many she drank, nothing like that. As far as we could see on this edited video. And by we, I mean me.
Fine. So for right now, just come out here and step up. I'm just going to talk to you, okay? Sir, if you would, you can wait right here. Just give me just a moment, okay?
So this is something we always look at as defense attorneys. How does she exit the car? Does she exit like smoothly, no problems? Does she fall? Does she stumble? Does she use the door to help her stable herself? And then kind of how does she walk to the back of the car as well?
So this is over because I'm not drunk.
All right. So step out and then walk to the front of my car.
Oh, wow.
I told you I had to pee, so that's why my flowers here.
It's okay.
That's...
Just go to the front of my car, okay?
Did you guys see that? She kind of stumbled a little bit walking back to the car. So far the exit from the car has not been super graceful.
Are you willing just to see if you can make it home? I would feel better. Would you be willing to submit to field sobriety test?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am? Okay. All right. So
What that is, walking the line?
She's leaning on the car too. The state could argue that that's like an indicator of impairment because she can't stand up straight. Yeah, so I mean, with her leaning against the car, a lot of people might be like, who cares? She's just sitting across the car and that's how she feels comfortable. And that's not an indicator of impairment, which absolutely that's something as the defense would argue. I've just done so many DUI trials that literally the state and the defense both nitpick the tiniest little things, you know, to say like this shows she's drunk and then we say this shows she's not. So I'm just kind of pointing some things out for like viewers that come up in trials based on my experience.
it's going to be a few of them. It'll be a few evaluations. Okay. We do 3. All right. Okay. Let me turn off these lights. So we'll start the first evaluation. You're a little bit taller than that. I got my head. Okay. So I'm just going to check your eyes. Are you on any medications? Do you have any issues, any brain injuries, leg issues that would prevent you from proceeding the evaluations? No? No. All right. So I want you to look at the tip of my finger, okay? And I want you to just do me a favor. So stand up.
I can tell this officer's new. She's not asking the questions appropriately. She's not having her like get in the correct stance. You're supposed to stand up with your 2 legs together and your hands at your sides. You should ask if they have any eye problems, like she said, take any medication. Do you have any illnesses like diabetes, for example, that could affect your eyes? The brain injury question was correct. And do you wear contacts? Obviously, she doesn't have glasses on right now, but that's another question that you should ask because if she can't see, that's going to affect her ability to follow the stimulus. So just based on this like brief interaction thus far, I feel like this officer is either a rookie or she's not very well trained in DUI investigations and the like giving of the field sobriety test instructions.
Your side. Feet together.
Y'all might as well let me pee on the side of the road. I gotta pee.
Feet together.
Okay.
And I want you to stand still.
Okay.
And I want you to look at the tip of my finger with your eyes and your eyes only, okay? Don't move your head. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm not drunk, I'm telling y'all. I hope y'all not recording. I need some lip gloss. If y'all recording, can you let me put some lip gloss on?
Okay. So we can finish this, okay? Try not to talk, okay? So I gotta watch your eyes. You understand?
Can you get some lip gloss so I won't look bad on y'all camera?
You
Okay,
understand?
come on.
Here's what I said.
The laughing is another thing that the officers indicate on the alcohol influence report. There's a whole list of unusual actions: crying, laughing, profanity are all boxes that they can check. But I can't tell if the officer's doing this test correctly with the correct number of passes because the camera like sped it up or whatever. But I feel like her balance looks really good. You know, she's standing there straight up. She's not falling. She's not swaying from side to side or back and forth. So that's something I would cross-examine the officer about.
So that is the first evaluation, okay? So we'll do the next one. So this first one, or the second one, is going to be the walk and turn, okay? So I'm going to show you a few steps, okay? So what I want you to do is put your left foot, nope, in front of my car. Look, like if, look at your car. So imagine a straight line, okay? From here to your car, okay? So I want you to put your left foot on that line.
I'm kind of fidget-toed.
Okay, put your left foot on the line, and then put your right foot in front of it, and your heel to toe touching, okay?
Okay.
And then I want
If you're pigeon-toed, that would be a reason why you wouldn't want to perform the field sobriety test. This is one of the reasons why Derek and I always say not to do the field sobriety test. This officer is doing a very awkward job at explaining the walk and turn. And she's going to use that first portion where she didn't like do immediately what she said against the driver, even though the officer didn't explain it well. She should have said, imagine a line in front of you, and I want you to take your left foot and put your left foot on that line and then put your right foot in front of it. She was basically like, in front of the car, and just put your foot there. And she didn't do it like immediately how the officer wanted her to. And then she's going to mark that down as an indicator of impairment. So you could be showing indicators of impairment because the officer isn't doing a good job, which is why you should not do the field sobriety test.
you to keep your hands by your side.
I walk all the way to my car.
No, ma'am. Just give me a minute, okay? So I want you to stay in this position, hands by your side, and I want you to remain in this position while looking at your feet, okay? Remain in this position until I tell you to do so. Do you understand? Okay. So you're going to take 9 heel-to-toe steps, okay?
She said remain in this position until I tell you to do so. That doesn't make sense. The instructions are to stand in this position until I tell you to begin the test. But so far, the driver is standing very straight in this position, which is a very awkward position to stand in. I don't see her swaying at all.
Okay.
And you're going to count out loud. 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth until you get to 9. Okay. Once you get to 9, you're going to take, back in that position. Okay?
That's an indicator of impairment that she just got out of the instruction stance, that the officer is going to mark her down on the alcohol influence report. But in my opinion, the officer did not instruct her properly, so that should not be counted against her.
Once you get to 9, you're going to take a series. You're going to take a series of small steps, okay? You're going to turn back around, and then you're going to continue. 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth.
And another 9.
Ma'am?
Another 9.
And another 9, so on and so forth until you get to 9. You got to stay in that position.
She just got out of the instruction
I'm
stance.
already about as bad as fuck, bro. Okay.
All right, like I said, I want your hands by your side, heel to toe, okay?
All right.
You understand?
Yeah.
All right.
9, and then you turn back around, another 9.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Heel to toe. Once you start this evaluation, I don't want you to stop. Do you understand? Until you have completed it. You understand?
So let me know when to turn.
No, ma'am, that's on you.
You gonna trick me?
No, ma'am, I explained it to you. Do I need to explain it to you again?
So walk, and as soon as I get to 9, turn around and do another 9.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you say it with me while I do it?
No, ma'am. This is on
Because
your...
I don't want to mess up and you blame it on me.
No, ma'am. This
Okay,
is your
come on.
evaluation, okay?
All right, I'm ready.
You start whenever you want to.
Ooh, she tripped.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Small steps, that's good.
1, 2,
Stepped off the line.
3,
Not heel to toe.
4, 5,
Not heel to toe.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Now she looks like she's in gym
All right,
shoes.
so we've got...
Right? Maybe they gave her the chance to change. She did well on that, though. Very well. Even though she did show indicators of impairment. She showed enough indicators of impairment for the fact finder to believe that she is under the influence of alcohol for this particular test. And she did very, very well. So that, again, is just another reason why we always say don't do the field sobriety tests.
We've got one more, okay?
Okay.
So this one is the one leg stand, okay?
My balance is bad. Oh
So
my
one
Then
leg
don't do the
stand, okay?
test.
All right, so give me a minute. And this
I
is
gotta
the-
stand for 60 seconds?
No, ma'am.
Oh.
I'll explain it to you in just a moment, okay?
Okay.
All right, so for this one, you're going to leave your left foot planted, and then you're gonna keep your hands by your side,
Okay.
okay? Here, let's get off the card just a little
That's
bit.
not the
okay?
correct
Yes,
instructions.
ma'am. So left foot,
She should be standing with her feet together, hands by her sides while she gives the instructions. Then she could choose either foot and raise that foot 6 inches off the ground, parallel to the ground out in front of you. Those are the instructions.
then I want you to raise your right foot, okay? About 6 inches off the ground,
It doesn't have to be your right foot. It's the foot of the driver's choosing.
okay? And I want you to remain in this position with your hands by your side. I want you to keep both legs straight, okay?
Also, she's like in the stance already before it even started because the officer is not instructing her properly.
Legs straight, just like this.
Leg you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, see, that other officer just corrected the officer who's giving the instructions. It's whatever leg you feel comfortable. That happens a lot of times where somebody will say, like, I have an injury on my left leg, and then the officer's like, okay, we'll choose the leg, that makes the most sense based on that.
If you prefer your left foot, your right foot to stand on.
Stand on my leg.
Okay.
My balance is bad. How long I gotta do it for?
So I'm gonna time you, so
Until I tell you to stop.
My balance
That's the
is
instruction.
bad.
I understand, but I just want you to do your best, okay?
Okay.
So you're gonna pick whatever foot. I want you to raise it about 6 inches off the ground, hands by your side, both legs straight, okay?
Okay.
And once I tell you,
Also, both legs do not have to be straight. Actually, the leg that's planted on the ground, the leg that's not raised, you're way better off doing this test if you have a slight bend in it because your balance is better. Nowhere in NHTSA does it say that both of her legs have to be straight.
you're gonna count out loud. 1001, 1002, 1003, so on and so forth until I tell you to start, or until I tell you to stop. Do you understand?
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay. All right. So get in this position. Pick a foot, whatever foot. Okay. Raise your foot 6 inches. Okay. Hands by your side.
These instructions are terrible. She's like, get in the position, raise your foot. She didn't even tell her to start yet. So all of this, like, she's going to put in her report that she wasn't following instructions and she was showing indicators of impairment, which is really unfair because the officer is doing a terrible job at giving the instructions on this test.
Keep them both straight and count out loud. Go.
1,
Go.
2, 3, 4.
Also, she told her to count 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and she's not doing that. That can be something that the state points out as well.
5, 6, 7.
Also, notice how the officer's hand is covering her body-worn camera. So you can't see how she's actually doing on this test. You can't see if her leg is straight out. You can't see if it's 6 inches up off the ground. You can't see if her arms are down by her sides because raising your arms is an indicator of this test. You can't see if she's balancing, swaying, putting her foot down, which is stupid from this officer's perspective. In my opinion, she's got the Apple Watch on. You don't have to have it covering the body-worn camera.
9, 10, 11,
There we go.
12, 13,
Looks good.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
All right,
There we
you
go.
can stop. All right, ma'am. So that was the last 3 of those evaluations, okay? So
I got more?
I've got one more one more question, okay?
Okay.
Would you submit to a roadside PBT test, like where you blow into it?
Portable breath test.
A breath
What that
test?
is? What it do?
It'll check whatever's going on.
She doesn't even know what the freaking portable breath test does. Like, I don't know. It's gonna like check what's going on with you. No, it tests your blood alcohol content, is what it does.
On your system if you do not.
I passed all these tests though, right?
So
They're not pass fail.
I will explain it to you in a little bit, but
Can you explain to me now?
no, ma'am.
Is that my rights?
So I'm proceeding with the evaluations. You said it would be okay, right? So I've got to complete them, and then I'll explain to you in just a moment.
I don't get explained to before, like that's not my right to know.
No, so what are you wanting to know?
This is why it's important for like you as a driver or a potential suspect of a crime for you to know what your rights are, because the officer has zero obligation to educate you on what your rights are or to even tell you the truth on what your rights are.
Or what you have explained to me afterwards.
So just the evaluations. Some of them, I can smell the breath I can smell the alcohol coming off of your
So if I
breath.
pass the first few, it don't mean nothing. I passed 3 tests. You made me do 3 tests.
That doesn't mean that. No, ma'am. Would you submit to the roadside breathalyzer?
And what if I don't? What's my right?
You're gonna get arrested for DUI.
Yeah.
You're the right to refuse.
Yeah.
It's voluntary.
Yeah.
It's voluntary? Okay. Are you
What
refusing?
would you like to do or you like to refuse?
I would like to refuse.
You would like to refuse?
Your
ma'am,
nipples out, girlfriend.
Cover up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
All right. So do me a favor, just sit right here for me, okay?
Okay.
I was like, do not tell me she's gonna have a conversation with this officer about whether she's gonna arrest her. I don't think it cut out. She turned it off. She's totally having a conversation with her. I would have a huge problem with that as the defense attorney, right? Like, if you're arguing probable cause to arrest or reasonable grounds to believe that she's under the influence of alcohol as far as her license suspension goes, this officer doesn't even know after she just put her through those tests. So that is a big issue for the state, in my opinion, as to their burden of proof. And the fact that she turned the audio off, which is what I believe occurred. So it was working totally fine the entire time. It just turned off as soon as she started talking to her partner. That's a big problem too. And you can actually file a motion about that and indicate to the judge that that time period where she turned the audio off would be favorable to the defense.
Okay. So turn around for me.
What are we doing?
Turn around for me.
You're getting arrested.
Listen, you
Okay,
are
I'm
under
taking
arrest.
this. I'm taking
Too late.
this.
That doesn't change anything. You still are going to be arrested.
For what?
Okay.
You don't have any proof on me.
No, ma'am, I do. Okay.
What's your proof?
So the evaluations that we do, they check it checks all kinds of things, okay?
They check for
And
all
that's
kinds of
determines
stuff.
If you were DUI.
All different
And
stuff they check
now,
for.
whether you do the blood test or not, now that is voluntary. You can still, if you wish to do it, we will
So
go
did
ahead
the
and
other
proceed.
test determine that I'm drunk?
Ma'am?
Did the test determine it?
Yes, ma'am. The evaluations are stating that you are over the legal limit to be driving right now.
Where the proof at? I just passed everything. I did everything you told me.
It's to you. You may think that you passed, okay? But I'm not going to
They're
figure
not
with you right
pass
now.
fail.
So, are you wanting to do the breathalyzer?
You just told her it was too late. It wasn't going to change
What's that
anything.
Nothing, ma'am.
So I'm gonna go to jail either way.
As of right now, yes, ma'am.
But
So the portable breath test that she is offering you right now is a roadside breath test. It's not admissible in court. They'll just give us a determination based off of that.
I hate when the police say that it's not admissible at court. That's not true. It is admissible in the state of Illinois in court at a hearing regarding the suspension of your license. It's not admissible at trial, and that's because they're inherently unreliable, kind of similar to a lie detector test. So I hate when the police say that, but that's, again, like they don't have to tell you the truth. They don't even have to know the law, unfortunately. And also, if they're still going to give her the opportunity to blow into the PBT and she blows below a .08, they should let her go. And they're basically telling her they're not going to do that.
It just gives us a reading on whether or not you have alcohol.
On whether or not you had alcohol, did she just say? Because, she's indicating that she already knows she drank and she admitted to drinking and smells alcohol and showed indicators of impairment. Now she's saying the PBT is going to tell you if you had alcohol or not. That would be a statement that I would definitely use against the officer at trial.
Okay, but I'm saying if they don't change nothing.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's completely voluntary. It just shows whether or not you have.
I feel anything because I'm not drunk.
We have those evaluations set for a certain reason. Okay.
And the how do you tell the evaluation?
So we're not going to go over that on the side of the road, man.
Yeah.
I feel like y'all not doing y'all job right.
All right. Ma'am, so do me a favor.
Y'all
Go ahead
names.
and turn
You
around.
hit the
Officer,
nail on
Okay,
the
can you
head
tell
there.
my brother y'all names?
Yeah,
Yes,
I'll give
ma'am.
them all the information.
We're going to go talk to him in just a moment, okay?
This is like a perfect video of why Derek and I say not to do the field sobriety test. I thought she did very well on the field sobriety test. I thought the officer did an abysmal job instructing her on the field sobriety test. Despite that, I thought she still did very well. I thought that she was cooperative, she was polite, she had a nice rapport with the police officers, but they were going to arrest her no matter what for the DUI. Yeah, so obviously we never see a situation where a driver who the police suspected was under the influence of alcohol did the field sobriety test and was let go. It seems obvious to me, maybe it's not obvious like in general, but the reason would be because they didn't get charged with an offense. They were let go. So there'd be no reason why they would come to me as the defense attorney and say, hey, I need your help. It is possible, I guess, that somebody may request a Freedom of Information Act and get one of these videos. Maybe we could look it up to see if one of those exists where somebody does nail the fields and they let them go. But I'm skeptical because I am a criminal defense attorney, but I just don't believe that happens. If somebody refuses the portable breath test, I believe that it may happen if somebody does well in the fields and then is asked to do the portable breath test and they're pretty well under. But I have even seen people get arrested when they blow like a .07 or even like a .08. All right, grades. So, there are two officers here. It kind of appears one of them is a field training officer. He only said like 4 words, so I'm not going to grade him. I'll just grade the driver and the police officer. For the driver, I'm going to give her a C. The reason why I'm giving her a middle of the road, for one thing, I didn't see the poor driving, so I don't know, what happened there. In the state of Illinois, there are lights where you can pull a U-turn, so I'm not sure if it was just that particular area she was prohibited from pulling a U-turn, or if in the state where this video occurred, you can't do a U-turn at all. I'm not sure, but I didn't see the driving, so I don't know how bad the driving was. I'm doing middle of the road because I thought that she was nice. I thought she was polite. She wasn't belligerent. She certainly wasn't, intoxicated to the point where it was insane of her to drive and believe that she was below the legal limit. So I give her credit for that. I didn't think she was rude to the police at all throughout the entire interaction. She stayed very calm, cool and collected. So I give her props for that. I'm not giving her a B or an A because she did a lot of things that did not help her. First, she didn't answer the questions that were asked of her, but not in a strategic way. I don't think it was smart of her to just keep saying, I'm cool, I'm good, I'm cool, I'm good, I'm not drunk. Like I said before, what you should do is just say, respectfully, officer, I'm not going to be answering your questions. You don't have to answer their questions about where you're coming from, where you're going, how much you had to drink, when you had them to drink, how many ounces they were, what type of liquor. You don't have to answer those. You have the right, and you should know your rights, to say, respectfully, officer, I'm not going to be answering your questions. I'm also downgrading her too because she doesn't know her rights. She admitted that she had some marijuana in the car. She, admitted she had 2 guns in the car, which the guns, I do suggest that if you have a gun in the car and you legally own it and it's, legally possessed within your vehicle. So in the state of Illinois, if you have like a firearm owner's identification card and not a concealed carry, then your gun must be not accessible to you as the driver. It must be in a case and it must be unloaded. So if either you conceal carry or it's properly within your vehicle, I would say that right away to the officer, and I would give my FOID card as soon as they walked up. I would have my driver's license and my FOID and say, just so you know, I have a gun in the trunk. That's for your safety and for their safety. But the admissions regarding the marijuana, possessing it, all that kind of stuff, she didn't do herself any favors there. She didn't do herself any favors doing the field sobriety tests at all. Even though she did well on them, she still is getting arrested. She still is getting charged with a DUI. She has to hire an attorney and she's going to have to fight this in court. And she gave the police evidence to use against her. So certain things that I pointed out, which, you as a viewer might be like, that's tiny. That doesn't mean that she was above a 0.08. It's still going to be used against her in court at trial, the way she got out of her car, the way she sat on the car, certain things that I pointed out along the way that showed indicators of impairment, that is going to be used against her. That being said, if I was her defense attorney, I would take this case to trial all day long, and I do believe she would have a good chance of being found not guilty at trial. The officer, I'm going to give her a C2. I thought that she was nice and polite throughout the interaction. She wasn't rude. She wasn't belligerent. She wasn't aggressive or physical or anything like that with the driver. I wish I knew a little bit more about her. Like if this is like her first week on the job, her failure to instruct according to NHTSA guidelines on the field sobriety test might be a little bit more understandable. If she's been on the job for a long time and this is her demeanor and her way of explaining the field sobriety test and clearly has a lack of knowledge about what she's even looking for, the fact that these are showing indicators of impairment, that they're not pass-fail tests, what the PBT even is or what it shows, your blood alcohol content, she couldn't describe that properly. And also police officers, the more you see them and the more training and experience they have, the better they control the situation. So like here, she kind of let the driver ask a bunch of questions. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And then she put the officer in an awkward position to explain it. And she didn't have the knowledge to explain it well. So that's something that the defense is going to tear her apart on cross-examination, where if she had controlled the situation better and just said, you're arrested for being under the influence of alcohol, period, and put her in handcuffs, she wouldn't have been put in that situation. So the instructions on the fields too bother me because there are pre-printed cards that NHTSA, which is a national organization, provides to the police. So if you don't know as a police officer how to instruct on the fields, then use the pre-printed form, do yourself a favor, and save yourself some embarrassment on cross-examination. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. I really enjoyed watching that one. DUIs are like my bread and butter, so I feel like I had a lot to say on that one. I personally didn't think that she was under the influence of alcohol to such a degree that she should not have been driving, but let me know what you thought in the comments.